All right, everybody, welcome to week 33 and 34 of Selling Weekly Lottos. Every week I use my cash and my shares to sell options in the stock market, and these are kind of like lottery tickets because the buyer has a really low chance of winning, and that's how I make passive income. All right, let's go ahead and put the disclaimers up real quick. All right, please read those. All right, those are important. Well, let's just move on. All right, the winner this week, this last 2 weeks, I should say, is me. All right, in the last 2 weeks, I made $438. That's about $219 each week. And I used $63,250 on average each week to make that money. All right, now, it seems kind of low, right? I was making thousands a week before, but I think it's still pretty good, as far as just using your cash and shares to make income. It's pretty good. All right, let's take a look at the positions really quick. Oh yeah! All right, so NVIDIA, the first week was 180 puts and 200 calls. All right, at the same time, it covered strangle. I'll show you with the charts later. And then the second week was 175 puts. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the first week with the chart. Boom! All right, so first thing you'll notice, I have two yellow lines. Those are trajectory lines. Those are just, they start at where I sold the option, the price of the shares, and they end where the share price needs to go in order for me to have to buy the shares or sell the shares. So let's just break this down. I have 200 shares of NVIDIA. All right, I bought them at about 189 each. We'll just say 190. All right, I use those 200 shares to sell covered calls. I sold the 200 covered call, $200 per share. All right. So the stock needs to go to $200 per share in order for me to have to sell them. All right. And I sold those for like 50 bucks each or so. All right. And then at the same time, I sold a 180 put. I sold two of these each, by the way. And so that means that the share price needs to go down to 180 for me to have to buy the shares. All right. So what happened was it didn't go to either of those. So I get to keep all the premium. That's basically what happened. If it went to 200, I would have had to sell the shares. And if it went to 180, I would have to buy more shares. All right. But neither of those happened. So I got to keep my shares and I got my cash returned to me, the $36,000 that I had to use to sell the 180 puts, right? Two of those. And I got those returned to me. So that's basically how I made a couple $100 right there. All right. And then the week after that, let's go ahead and look at that. Oh yeah. All right. So 175 puts. Now there's just a one yellow line. That's just the one trajectory line now. So that week I would have had to buy the shares at 175 or so each if it went down there, but it didn't get close. It didn't even, it went up. So I got to get all the $52,500 that I used to agree to buy 300 shares of NVIDIA at 175, all right? And I got that back. And the premium around another $200 or so, $220 that I got for agreeing to the buyer that I would buy those shares, all right? So it's just passive income, guys. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the metrics. This is going to be, I think, an important one, all right? Booyah! All right, so the premiums have really been going down for me. Now I'm starting to go into I'm trying to usually target a 0.5 to 1% yield every week. But this last few weeks, I've really had to go down to like the 1/4 to 0.5% per week, and I'm not going further out of the money or anything, so the premiums have been reducing. So normally I sell my options on Friday to expire the next Friday, but what I've been noticing since the start of the year, really since the start of 2026, the premiums have started to deteriorate. The contracts have started to get crushed like a day or two earlier. So think about it this way, like you're going to the buffet or something every Friday, and you really want to get some broccoli beef, all right? And it's been there every Friday, but the last like 5 weeks or so, last month, basically, I'm going to the buffet to get some broccoli beef, and they don't have the beef in there. It's just broccoli and some sauce. All right, so I'm missing out on this window of opportunity, and that's what's been causing the yields to go down. But in order to stay in the game, I gotta sell something in order to make income. So I've had to basically deal with a lower yield. All right. So I'm only making a few $100 using tens of thousands, almost $100,000, and so that's a pretty unfortunate. It feels pathetic. It feels kind of almost not worth it. But if you really think about it, if you're only making a couple $100, $200, $300 per week, that's like $10,000 to $15,000 a year. Maybe you won't be able to survive not working with that type of money, but it is, for me, it's still pretty good. All right. The main thing I'm concerned about, you'll notice down here, is this new roster section I added. So these are the shares that I have that I bought for weeklies to sell weekly contracts, but I can't use them for weeklies anymore. I've been using them for monthlies, and that's coming around to like almost $200,000 I'm using now. My total capital that were intended for weeklies but can't be used for weeklies, and that's reducing my yield. All right, and then also, if I have $200,000 in stocks that I'm like invested in, it's only going to take about a 20% drop for me to lose the entire income from the first 6 months. So that's I'm at a pretty bad risk right now. High risk to get a bad situation if the stocks decide to turn down. So yeah, just from the market, I'm pretty surprised from the market just going back to neutral, not even really going down. It's just neutral. The premiums really went down a lot, and it's pretty surprising to me. I was thinking something like this would happen if the market goes down, not just when it's going sideways. So yeah, some of my confidence in this strategy is a little shaken. I thought when I first started this, I thought it was going to be the best thing in all of mankind, but really, it's just pretty good. So I'm gonna keep it going, and I'm hoping these new expirations for like Monday and Wednesday that added to some stocks in the last couple weeks, I'm going to try some of those out. I'm planning to try those to see if it alleviates some of this window of opportunity concerns that I have. But other than that, at the end of the day, you're making money from lines going up and down on a chart. So, not really much to worry about, and having fun at the very least. All right, guys, that's it for me. Take it easy.